They ain't not getting mine. This is a mic check. Everything, including those little hairs on your ears. I know you think you hear through your ears, ladies and gentlemen, but we know it's through your skull. You're the parabola dish of all that juice you got going on in your juicy brain. And you don't keep information there. All your information is in your liver. All your intestines are the somatic brain that we call home. And I'm here to tell you, that that's why you're not going to be able to hang on this channel believing in no objective reality. That's right. I'm putting the stoppers on the poppers, baby. I'm setting up what's going on and telling you what's going down. You can try and change. You can try and say, you know, I want to say probably the easiest proof that it's not objective reality is that you've met someone in the fucking world who's telling you it's not. And it's funny because people try and use that as like, well, James, if I set something down on the counter and close my eyes and open it again, that proves objective reality. And I'm like, okay, well then the fact that you just heard someone tell you that they do not think reality is objective proves it's not. You're the one over there insisting reality is objective. And what am I? What am I but a pain in your ass, a thorn in your side telling you, hey man, that's not what's going on over here. Over here we got a whole other thing going on. And it's not no objective reality. And you're like, oh, but that just proves something, James. I just don't know what to say. Except for stop saying that. Stop it. I like the majoritarian objective reality. It makes it easier to judge people because everybody experiences things in the same volume. at the same level. Speaking of volume, is everything good? You guys hearing me okay? Audio is good. Thank you, Steve Krog. Appreciate it. Good morning, Amel. Wonderful to see you. Hello, Mo. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm saying that like Mo. He's got the great voice. He does. I can't help it. Mo's gravity is so strong that my accent changes whenever I talk to him in my mind, which is a lot. We have a lot of conversations back and forth, Mo and I do. It's profound. The psychic interplay doesn't need lexical speech. It's kind of cool how it works that way, you know? Yeah, it's exactly, Amel. Bonjour. See, exactly. Bonjour. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? C'est entendu bien quand les poissons de fromage. The poisson de fromage. Those of you who don't speak French, you're like, oh my God, that sounds so elegant. And Amel's like, why is he ordering fish and cheese? Who would put cheese on their fish? Why is he putting cheese on his fish? And Pie's over here like, no. James, it would work with cheese, but it's going to have to be this very special kind. It's going to have to be this very specific vibe of cheese that we all know, right? Hello, Mo. Guys, Wednesday, this is not a, I teased the Welcome to the Underworld show. I'm looking forward to bringing you that. I've been doing a lot of internal work with some wonderful people that not only help with the show, but that we do a whole bunch of other things too. And there's just been tons and tons of cool background stuff that's been taking my time. And so I'm going to try and see if the audience likes the idea of Wednesdays being a viewer witness day. And what I mean by that is that our very own Athena, Spectral Valkyrie, some of you may know in the comments, some of you have felt the vorpal steel blade of her sword. And she's compiled some topics for us to look at, which I want us to look at. And it's probably a good time to riff. And so we'll try it. If some of you are busy and you're like, how do I ingest James True? And maybe 3 times a week isn't the right vibe for you. Maybe 2 times a week isn't the right vibe. Maybe the only amount of the James that you can handle, because he's so strappingly large and huge when he's inside you, is once a week. And if that's the case, I'm going to push you to consider. I'm thinking about trying it this way. We're thinking about Friday being that week. Friday is new day. Friday is new show day. And all the research that you've come to expect from the show, all the thought-provoking content that drives these new trails that seriously kind of makes your nipples hard, that is going to be a Friday thing. Wednesday is viewer witness, right? If there's enough witness, if there's enough topics, because Spectral can't pull this stuff out of the galaxy. I mean, if anyone could, she could. But if there's enough content, then we'll do the Wednesday viewer witness. I'm calling it viewer witness because every time I've called it Q&A, it doesn't work with my audience. We're not a QA audience. We are a sharing sort of. Tell me about your vista, right? It's not necessarily what are the ins and outs of the intrinsic wrong things that we see with the following ideals. 1, the idea has the trappings of something, but actually underneath seems to be a facade of straw man. Idea 2, the idea is strong in purpose, but it lacks the fundamental capabilities that are required under a utilitarian environment, right? And that the reason why that doesn't work is because when you end up dissecting from those landscapes, you alouette the shit out of it, and you really don't even get to try it at all. So, Wednesday, viewer witness, and then check it out. Monday, retro James True. Retro. When I say retro, I don't actually mean we'll be playing my episodes back from the 70s. Some of you may know that I was in Charlie's Angels, had a big role in that, and 2, the Captain Kangaroo saga, which due to court sorry. I was trying to hit a different button. I really blew that. Sorry. Way to go, Chums. But yeah, due to some court things, we this is what I was going for, right? Yeah, that one works. Yeah, so that's going on. Yeah, stream of consciousness, surfing Woden's Day, Cowabunga. I love it. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Looking forward to the Chicago shows. Thank you, Jason Raymond. I'm looking forward too. In fact, that's actually one of my slides. Why don't we start right there? Without further ado, from Cuckoo Cachoo, and you know who, your friend James Drew, we are going to be at the Astronosis Conference. We meaning my split personality, and I, both of us, me and my divine twin, will be there. Some of you have gotten confused. You're looking for your twin flame, and it's right in your chest the whole time. I would tell you that it's a rib cage, but it's not. It's a rib cathedral. You live in a rib cathedral. And the fact that you've been calling it a cage, or it's been presented to you as a cage, is a pretty big clue of the kind of environment you're living in. Go live. Okay, sorry guys. I thought that I did hit go live on Rockfin. Here you go. There's that. So yeah, that should be a healthy link. That should work to Astronosis. And yeah, you should check that out. That'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I wish I had an afro so bad right now, Omen. Oh my goodness. If I could whip out an afro right now, that'd be fantastic. It's not too late for comments, by the way. If you do have something you want to ask me about, you can actually throw it in the comments right now. I have some things we're going to go over, though, for sure. So, if that doesn't sound good, turn it off. It's okay. And I'll be watching, how many viewers we have and stuff like that. And, you can, we'll let you tell me what you think. Thanks for being here. It's been a great day here. I hope it's been a great day for you. We've got a live traffic report just in. See, Sally, you want to do? No, we should really work on a number like that where Sally does a traffic report. Let's do some comments. Catch me live at Astronosis. You guys know about that. And actually, we're not going to do with comments. We're going to start with this. We talk a lot here about belief theory. In fact, it's one of the biggest issues that I'm having right now with the objectivists. If you believe in objective reality, you would have no concept at all that your entire rendered world is coming from your belief. I guess I should say this is new material. This is what we're working on. Who knows, right? But I really need to share this today, and so I am. To believe in objective reality, I think makes it impossible for you to have any room in the world for belief. That the concept of looking through the lens of objective reality is going to remove all of the torque, the word I talk about so importantly, of your placebo. Maya, this world, is a matrix of illusion. The entire thing. So I'd like you to picture that if you were in a world of illusion, don't you think that belief would be a little bit more important? Don't you think that the concept of what you believe would have a little bit more bearing if you were living inside this matrix of Maya? I don't think that most of you remember. I don't. But I've been told with so much confidence that I believe it, that my entire life was spent inside a seed. And I grew upside down in that seed, suspended from a tube. And that tube was my umbilical. And the entire universe was coming to me through a snake, through an umbilical. That all of my nutrition, all of my hydration, all of the gases that I was exchanging with this other person that I both knew and did not know simultaneously, that entire time I was living inside the mouth of a snake, that the snake was feeding me every morsel that I could ever have, that I could ever want, that I would ever know, was coming through the umbilical, through the mouth of the snake. And that when I understood what my skin really was inside there, because I had fresh eyes, I understood that the skin that wrapped my body itself was the snake. That the human inside the womb is simply wrapped in the skin of this same snake. And if you follow and trace where the skin goes, it leads to a central plug called the umbilical cord. And if you follow that cord, it leads into not a world of outside, but a world of Ma. Of Ma. That if you were to stay inside the umbilical and crawl yourself up, you would have to push yourself through 5 membranes, a wardrobe, and push yourself through the placenta all the way back into the blood, and you would find yourself inside the cave of Newt, your mom. And you would be living inside of her, thinking you were outside the whole time. And you would be inside of her rib cathedral and go, my word, this place is beautiful. And you'd find these rivers and veins. Some are blue, some are red. And they're electromagnetic. They're so electromagnetic that after a time you begin to give them a property of wet. Why? Because the smoothness at which the electromagnetic flows gives you the concept of wetness. And you start to paint the idea of it being liquid. And as you're looking at your Ma, if you're looking at Newt, you're seeing up in the sky all the stars that ever were and ever will be. And you remember that you carved them all, that you were the one that drew the heavens, and you drew the heavens because you were sensing all of these other witnesses out there in a world beyond. You knew there was a belt of Orion, and you dotted it 3 times in the womb, and you said, there's something here. And you sensed the twins. You sensed Regulus, the chest of the lion. You painted the newborn king in the sky before you even came. You set the ecliptic. You set your wandering luminaries. You positioned every star, and you set the math just right from the sonar that you were pinging. And then something colossal happened. The entire universe that you had built inside the womb burst. When it burst, this cosmic fluid spilled out, and it took you with it. And you left the inside of a snake to enter something completely different. Maybe you don't know where you are right now. Maybe it's just become so convenient to call this place what you think it is. What was the word you used? You said life. And the matrix of Maya is the matrix of Maya is painted by the paintbrush of your placebo. Your placebo. Life. The lie that you paint every moment is life. And the thing that all of us are afraid of the most, the thing all of us have declared, the thing that we never do, the thing all of us swear to fuck that only we are the ones that don't do that, is the act of lifing. And that the placebo, the power of lies, the power of life, is this squeezing of the placebo. But if you're an objectivist, none of that can be valid. And if you're an objectivist, when you come to streams like mine, you're going to type in the chat and go, yeah, man, I'm totally all about how important emotions are in the world, James. I totally get you. And you don't get fucking shit. You're a poser. You're a sociopathic poser. You know why? Because when I called you a TI, the first thing you thought is there's no way I could be a targeted individual. That's for crazy people. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy at all. I know when I see these things that they're real. And if you don't see them, you're the crazy one. And how dare you suggest that vinegar could get rid of those because that's stupid. And I'm like, well, why do you think that's stupid? Why do you think the guy putting vinegar outside is stupid? He's showing you they're gone. He's showing you he feels better. Why is that stupid to you? And you know why it's stupid? Because he told you it was easy. And he told you it was solved. And a TI can never be solved. A TI is living a lie, living a life, that this is fucking objective reality. And that's exactly what you would do if you were afraid to lie, if you were afraid to placebo, if you were afraid to believe. If you were a weakling. An atheist is an atrophy. To believe is a muscle. And if you do not use this muscle, you enter atrophy. And I'm here to tell you that an atheist, don't worry, is not an atrophy because an atheist is simply has a belief. The atheist worships the fact that they hate worshiping. The atheist worships the fact that they are in denial of life, of how this works. And it's fine. You don't want to mess with an atheist. An atheist is hyperventilating, and they're doing what they need to survive. Most people have this Zionistic, orthodoxic, bisexual homesteader sort of vibe where I want to do things or place emphasis around my penis in some way. And certain sports become gay, certain people become gay, certain things, everything becomes about placing the mouth on someone else's genitals. The fetish douses you with your compassion to show you exactly where someone's at, exactly what they feel. And if you consider that atheism itself is that kind of fetish, then it shows you the heart of that fetish is actually belief, is placebo. And that's why when you find an atheist that's successful, most of them are bitter. They're dry and bitter, and they're kind of hard to be around. I said successful because some of you are going to say, I know an atheist who wears sweaters, and he buys avocados, and he's got some sort of Subaru, and he's a wonderful person. And that person is not an atheist. That person is a scientismist. And you know that. You know that. The atheism is part of that costume, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are no wrong answers here. There are none. Some of you believe that the only way to breathe is have a deep breath. I was in dojo last week, and a woman I'd never met decided that I was in my head, and I wasn't breathing. And she told me to take a deep breath, and I realized we've got to start pushing slow breath. That this calms no one down. This is what you do before you fall 6 stories and land in an airbag because you're shooting a stun. This is an impact. This is not an accept, right? The language of breath, I'm telling you this now, is the language of belief. And that you can go through this entire life as a mouth breather. You can move through this life with a concept of how to work the lung. But until you've reached this place, this placebo place, and it's going to require you, A, to admit that you're lying. It's very important. And B, to let go of this objective reality. It's just going to make it so hard for you to understand people. And you're going to have to call people crazy the longer you insist that it's objective. So scientism is a kind of atheism for liars. So they're getting closer. I'm here to tell you that a scientismist is actually someone who's working on their belief muscle. It's a bagpipe. It's dusty as fuck. And that the scientism is them learning to believe and requiring a very strict scripture as their framework. No different than a Zionist, no different than a Christian, no different from any religion. And it's okay. There's nothing unconstructive about training wheels, is there? There's really not. Wait a minute. All of your placebo comes from your frontal lobe. There's not a specific spot in your frontal lobe that we can touch and say, this is where your placebo comes from. It's a meta-electrical entity. We are dealing with the most powerful force in your body is originating from a field, not an organ, from a field that the neurological holographic impulses of your agency, the neuron, your neurons conglomerate into gangs and tribes called agencies, and these agencies go on war parties with themselves to decide who's going to get your light, who's going to carry your torch through your brain to tell you that someone just knocked your kneecap with a rubber hammer and we're going to need you to kick your foot now. Every aspect of your healing is coming from a meta field. There is not an organ that does this. The irony that I'm showing you an organ on the screen, and I'm talking about an organ in your body, I wish I could say I planned it the whole time. Only now is it hitting me. Only now am I seeing why I picked this, even though I had no conscious fingers to point at. This is your frontal lobe on atheism. It atrophies, and it makes people feel better who cannot embrace the lie of what this place is. To drive the nail home even more, sorry, we don't actually need, it's okay. To drive the point home even more, you're looking at a CinemaScope video capture of a click train reflection of a submerged man. And there are click train pulses inserted into an echo reflection, That echo reflection gives a quasi-holographic ultrasonic data, allowing a Maya, meaning the bottlenose dolphin, to see with sound. And that you can tap into the neurons of that and create a replica of that same simoscope. And you can show you exactly what the dolphin's senses are perceiving. And you objectivists out there are going to have to look at these pictures and tell me that you really, really think that this is the entirety of what a dolphin sees. That you in your mind are now insisting that, yeah, all dolphins see this like black space with like this like white stuff. And that's how they're able to like, you know, get it on with pregnant chicks and stuff. Cause look how accurate they are, because I believe in objective reality. And one of the most profound things about stable diffusion, by the way, Kurt, if you're listening, the Oracle has landed. I cannot wait to open it, my friend. Really excited about what's going on. To catch you guys up, our friend Kurt from 5.5 is letting us turn his old Ethereum rig into an Oracle. There's never ever been an image rendered on these video cards. They've been slave mined out, making diamond Ethereum on the island, and they've arrived here as virgins, ready to paint pictures of the future for us all. It's really fascinating time to be alive right now. And that inside of stable diffusion, big sidebar, I know, big sidebars, but still, thank you, Kurt. Inside stable diffusion software application, most of the images you're seeing that I render here are from this application, has this thing called control net. What is control net? Control net allows you to create a sort of whitish and grayish, like almost like an ultrasound sort of looking image, and feed it into the AI and ask the AI to fill in the details. That we have AI right now, and the entire technology works on the idea of fractal imagination. Do you understand? Fractal imagination. That when you render an image, the first thing you do is you create an AI. The AI works the same way a bottlenose dolphin does. And this is proving it to you. I'm saying to you that the only sensory data that the dolphin actually needs is the control net of the shape that's in front of him. And that he does the same thing you and I do. He compassionates the fuck out of the target. He compassionates it. He does not wait for the picture to tell him the cues. He paints the picture and rewards himself with serotonin and dopamine, or punishes himself with cortisol when he gets it wrong. And that the bottlenose dolphin not only does this throughout his life, this clever little flipper has found a way to compress his training algorithms. His whole life, he is able to compress his training and pack it into a genetic code and hump himself and his wisdom into another life form. And that life form is born with the same traits that the AI has before it. It is able to take a rough black and white control net image and paint the most beautiful, detailed, accurate image you can ever imagine inside. Those of you who are trying to curse and write in the comments, AI is so lifeless, it's just so blah blah blah. You're a fucking retard. You have no idea what's happening right now. This is showing you how your eyes work, how your brain works, how your imagination works. And you're terrified. You're terrified because a new tool has been given to you. And you're like, but I got good at making bread. How dare you create a way to make bread better? You're not an artist. You're clinging to your own fear and insecurity. Wow, James, that's pretty deep. I know, this is the vitriol that we need to grow. Art is brave. Art is brave, which means when something new, when something huge like this comes along, this cortisol spray you're trying to put everywhere, you're melanating the comment section by saying, it's so lifeless. If it's so lifeless, why did it make you erupt? If it's so lifeless, why the fuck does it scare you so bad? Those 6 fingers are coming for you. All of them. And you know it. And when you see someone like me trying to tell you how important this is, run away! Fetch a lavash! Run away! Right? Yeah, I see you. I love you. That's why I'm telling you these things. You create a control net, the dolphin renders everything else around it. It's just how it goes. This is not enough data for a dolphin to be as intelligent as you know a dolphin is. This is not enough data. There is something more, and that more is a fractal intelligence that is running off a place that you and I can never touch, find, see, diagram, or objectively define. On the left is a bottlenose dolphin brain. On the right is a human. Bottlenose dolphin brain is a lot bigger. There's certainly differences between the brains. And most of us have just assumed that, well, the humans definitely smarter. Come on, we put silk things around our neck. You don't see dolphins doing that. Come on, we put ourselves in boxes and sit in cubicles. You don't see dolphins doing that. They're fucking stupid. They're freaking idiots, right? Us, we only do things bad as long as there's a sheet. We cut a hole in the sheet, and it cleanses all kinds of things. You can do all kinds of things if you just cut a hole in the sheet, right? We're not savages. Just fucking shitty dolphins. And it would be exactly like the second most intelligent species on the earth to insist that they were the smartest. Like it would completely make sense that the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, even 138th most intelligent life form on the planet, if we're going to call it a planet, I don't really care, in this Sheol, there we go, that even down there, each one of them would insist, oh, we're totally the smartest. Look, we got an exoskeleton. Come on. Right? Insect. We're like, dude, we know so much more what's going on. In fact, we outnumber all of you. When you analyze the brain of the dolphin, the answer is we simply don't know. And that's as just factual as it is. I was really trying to find you a better factual data to show you where humans are smarter than dolphins and where dolphins are smarter than humans, and the answer is we don't know. In fact, the IQ tests that some of you like to show off about with your score actually is antithetical to how the brain even works. And when it comes right down to it, you're looking at just a higher GPU. The dolphin has more GPU than you do. And don't worry, I'm not a dolphin brain. Call E today if you're a dolphin who's been accused of sexual assault, even though your sonar gave you clear consent. I would imagine that every single thing a dolphin does is placebo. I would imagine that every single thing. But James, reality is so objective because you're just talking about dolphins. And I know you like to think I'm a dolphin, James, but I'm not. I'm a human being, and I'm smarter than a dolphin. Well, first of all, you have a lot less brain to do this, but guess what? I actually wasn't telling you about how a dolphin sees. I was actually telling you how you do. That it's even worse when I'm about to show you, objectivists. It's even worse. There are two types of vision. There's a scotopic vision and a photopic vision. And the rods are responsible for your scotopic vision, and the cones are responsible for your photopic vision. And these are very different things. The macula has a focal point, and on that focal point, there's a centralized distribution of cones, and those cones, roughly 5 to 8 million in length, are responsible for color and color alone. And so less than 10%, maybe 5% of your eyes are even reading color. But when you look around through your objective eyes, all you see is color. It's all you see. You're painting and you're lying about this reality to yourself right now. That your eyes are so lazy that they're not going to frickin' rescan the room every time. That's not how they work. You kidding? Do you know what the refresh rate is on a 60 frame video game on a 1920 by 1080 display? That is nothing compared to a 360 120 frame live action role play where we've got two electron guns, and you would have to scan every single pixel every single time to get a new color cue. You're making all this shit up right now, and you're telling me that reality is objective, and you're painting the whole damn thing. And every time you're painting anything, even the color you use has a history context for you, and that history context is coming through your hippocampus. And the reason why you die is the same reason why I die, because after a while we lose the ability to have a fresh sensation from the colors. The colors that we keep painting with get seasoned and seasoned with all of our pain, with all of our passion, with all of our frustration, with all of our angst, with all of our victory, with all of our defeat. And there's only so much melanin that can only so much erase. We go blind because we lost the saturation, because we lived a complete experience. That's why we run out of fresh water. We build salt. You're painting every moment. It's not an exaggeration. It's not symbolic. I'm not talking archetypally to you. I'm telling you this is how it works. And until you get this through your head, you are not going to understand how much you lie. You're lying right now about what's right here in your vision. You're lying about it. If you don't believe me, I want you to look. And now look back. You were lying. This whole time was a lie. In fact, when you look, that was a half second ago. That's a lie too. You're literally lying to yourself about when information came into your head so you could compassionate. Because to compassionate is to placebo. The Maya where you live is painted by your lies. And your lies are painted by your posture. By your posture. You see just like the dolphin does. You make it up just like he does. Eat. Photopic vision on the left. Scotopic vision on the right. Why did I tell you guys this is a viewer mail? This is a good episode. You should thumbs up it right now. You should thumbs up it. You should. Thank you, the Ancient of Days. Oh, you're talking about Life of Pi. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I bet it's good too. On the left, scotopic, slower response to the eye. On the right, back to photopic. Which one's real? Objectivists? Which one's real? Israel. Which one is Israel? Which one is real? Which one? Right? 5 comment. I really am a dolphin lawyer, though. With an AI cartoon rework, yeah, it could go viral. GMW could. Eggs edit. I'm a dolphin. I've been accused of 6 cases of first-degree manslaughter and 5 cases of sexual assault. Well, you need to call me. You need to call me. We can talk. We have people on the line that are standing by. They're ready to take your mandala right now. Do you guys get it? They're ready to take your mandala. Someone in the comments drop a deep. Yeah, man, I get it. Question about Spotify episodes under the Oracle Factory. Vivian said, I know Vivian. Hello, Vivian. I literally told myself I'm going to watch James True because I usually listen to it on Spotify with no pictures. Ha! But I don't think Spotify has any new shows right now. I'm not sure if this one is on there. I doubt it is. Spotify is a service that does absolutely nothing for me but wants me to give them money. And they told you that they were giving you a platform for all of the podcasts for free, and they lied to you. They didn't do that at all. What they meant to tell you is we're going to give you this guy's platforms for free until he reaches the number 68 or 66 or whatever it was, and then we're going to write him and hold him ransom, but we're not going to tell you the whole time that that's what's happening. My podcast is alive and thriving. We've had 300 listens just yesterday or something. It was like a really, really good day. It's been really pumping. But we're not on Spotify. And you're not going to find us on Spotify. I think there might be a time where you might. This is not a boycott of Spotify, but we're a tight ship, and we do the best we can. Our podcast is totally patron sponsored, and yeah, it's been there. It's always been there. You can subscribe to it, and but I think you're gonna have trouble on Spotify. And also, while you're thinking about Spotify, I think you should consider that they actually have AI now that publishes the same song under 8 different artists with 8 different album covers just to see which one you like. That's what they do. You know, it's not actually all bad. In fact, Innocent Outlaw and Spectral Valkyrie's new album is on Spotify. So I'm not telling you to boycott Spotify. I'm telling you that the reason why you're not going to hear my podcast is because of their policies. And if we can figure out a way to fix it, we will. So thank you for the comment. And yeah, all kinds of things are changing. In fact, a lot of times when I talk about something, usually like the next day, I just fix it. I try and bitch about it. I try and tell you, oh, it's this huge moral platitude. And then I still do it. It was like, I was like, you know, why are you asking the name of the song? I told you at the beginning of the song, and then I realized kind of halfway through it, you know, it's running from my doom. It's like Mama Zulu. It's you're not actually asking me a lot, although I can't remember the name of the song. It's a great song. I just using that hard drive space for something else. My GPU is busy, man. What can I say? It's busy. It's got things to do. The Fig Bank. Wait a minute. Black Thin. Oh, there's a poem. Poem by Jared Dahlman. Let's see. Black than white are all I see in my infancy. Red and yellow then came to be, reaching out to me. Oh, this is good. Let's me see. As below, so above, and beyond I imagine, drawn beyond the lines of reason. Push the envelope, watch it bend. Overthinking, overanalyzing separates the body from the mind. Withering my intuition. Missing opportunities, and I must feed my will to feel my moment. Drawing way outside the lines. Right on. Yeah, Spectral's always picking berries. So if you got some berries, you know, bloom them. Crash Course in Compassion. Michael, I could see you, Michael. Being in Australia, you're killing me with these events. I know. Always wanted to visit New England. Guys, the event, 5/5, seriously, you're really need to come if we do another one. You really do. If we were to do one. And if there was like a team of people that I'm tickling their ears right now because they're just like, yeah, if, right? But if we were to do another one, you probably would need to be signed up on Patreon to find out. There's some good stuff happening over there on Patreon. Have I told you about Patreon yet? It turns out that this show is actually funded through a tribe of patrons just like yourself. They've joined and agreed to helping the airship along. So, if you would like to help, we'd love to have you on board. Thank you very much. David Bentley, love this guy. He dropped some comments. As Yeshua was quoted saying on the cross, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." And I apparently said, but Jesus, oh yes, I did say this. But Jesus said months before he was going to Jerusalem, so this could take place. This means he's volunteered. It's an alchemical transaction that benefited both parties. Can you imagine trying to say that to Southern Baptist? You know, Jesus died for your sins. And you said, oh, Jesus died to alchemize himself in one of the most transmutive magical ceremonies in the world. High five. Up here. High six. Right? Right? High six. Ode to the Giants. Right? Up here. Preacher. This is like an alchemical swish, dude. He like freaking nailed it. He's like, we're gonna burn the females in your family for witchcraft. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna burn them. That's what we're gonna do. That's the first time I was called Satan. No, I didn't have the language like that. You know, I was just throwing lobs. You know, it was just like, well, why did he reward someone for almost killing his son? You know, it's like I didn't even know what I was talking about then. But, you know, we learn to throw harder, right? We're alchemicals in training, aren't we? And oh my God, Spectral. We are alchemicalists in training. In training. Stable diffusion trains the entire process of building the fractal in-betweens between the control net, right? The incoming message from Giant Head. Incoming message. But this control net, this entire thing right here. This control net right here, right? This is called in training. Oh my God. This isn't you train your AI from your mandala. You train it. You train it. Did you get the part about how you're going? Think about it. When you leave the Stargate, when you birth, right? You're just entering a larger part of the snake. This world, it's just a larger part of the snake. And if you would imagine if you were to find the edge of the world, it probably would be cold. It would probably be cold. You know why? Because it's a snake. And you're at the outer edges of it, right? So it'd be cold. And there'd be some sort of snakeament, right? It'd be a snakeament. Not a firmament, a snakeament, right? It'd be a snakeament. Oh, damn. You've got a new theory. It's your snakeament Earth theory. I love it. This is fantastic. I freaking love this. It's so great what you're doing, James. I really like your work. I think I'm going to sign up for Patreon right now. I'm going to slither over the Patreon right now with my snake pants and sign up for your Patreon account. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying this show. Satan, lately you lost the privilege to get behind me. Get behind me, Satan. I'm not getting behind you. You have no insurance. I've seen you drive. Get away from me. So, you're lying. You're lying right now. It's beautiful. I love the world you're painting. So am I. I love the world you're painting because you found me with it. Can you imagine that what you visualize is what you see? Right? Just like the dolphin, if you watch the last episode, the dolphin creates a mandala in a certain shape, and he's able to right, send that shape out, and if that shape is found, it comes back, goes, I found your shape. And what he's looking for, his shape is solid, that's all. He's like, I'm looking for solid things. I'm imagining there's solid things out here. How accurate am I? And the mandala comes back and says, here's how accurate you are. And it gives you a shape. And you are doing the same thing right now. Right now. See that top left corner? There's a floating Cthulhu right there. But because you're not looking directly at it, you don't see it. You don't see it. Now, on the count of 3, I want you to look over there. But instead of 3, I want you to go on 2 so the Cthulhu doesn't know, okay? But on the count of 3, I want you to look really fast in your top left corner. And I think you're probably not going to see him because he's going to move early. He's very fast. But don't forget, we're going to go on 2. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2. Anybody see him? Did you see him? Is this show too childish for you? If so, that's okay. You can tell me that. I'm a dolphin. We got the poem. We got that. Here's one. Artist journey, 2 different stances. Wowee. Feeling all of 3% special. I am an artist. All is art to me. And you got me on how much do I charge? Yeah, that's a big one. It's the artist journey. It's hero's journey. I suddenly felt sick as you write, and that's why I never sold anything. It gave it away and made a few quid from charity ventures, but hell yeah, with age and a good dose of ego to realize one's worth is value. This is, thank you so much, Eddie Fox. This is the alchemical journey, isn't it? Isn't it perfect that we have capitalism to be here? Go ahead, type it. James, you can't say capitalism is perfect because it's hard. Yeah, go ahead. Because art's fucking easy. Let me guess, you're the same people that hate AI are probably like, let's paint by numbers today. My crayon broke my line. Of course art's hard. Why do you think most people aren't artists? They're fucking cowards. They're terrified. They don't want to admit that they lie. They don't want to admit that they're using placebo. Are you freaking kidding me? It's the hardest thing in the world. That's why it's called an artist. Simon Robbins, James, it would be good to hear your thoughts on the difference between art and professional art. Professional not as a measure of quality, but of commercial saleability within capitalist society. Well, I feel like that's kind of what I'm going for now. Snake monculus earth. Oh, I love it. Thank you, the watcher. Thank you. Homunculus plus snake. Snake monculus, the earth. So, thank you for the question, Simon. I think that we're missing that every job is art. I'm here to tell you that the medium is capitalism, that the paint is self-worth, and that the paintbrush is your cathedral of ribs. You make the sound inside your cathedral, and you hum and rattle and hum and vibrate in a certain way that creates a mandala around you, and that mandala says, I am success, and you send that out to the world. You lie like a fish. You lie like a dolphin. And you send that out to the world. You lie, you placebocate. Oh my goodness. You placebocate success, don't you? You placebocate success. You send it out the world, and when you hit your target, it comes back to you. And these are the people in your life. This is the job you have. This is the beautiful partner you sleep next to. This is the joy you feel when you find your spot in the sun and you open a box from somewhere far away. The little joys that you have are the direct renderings of the mandala of your lie, of your life. Life, right? Life. Thank you, Zerlith. Just glad to be here. There's no just, my friend. There's only glad to be on. Thank you. That's great. You placebocate, and the realm reciprocates. You got to placebocate before the world reciprocates. You got to placebocate, right? You got to. You got to. That was actually one of the angels, Charlie's Angels, was placebocate. Deep references here, people. You gotta stick up. You gotta stay awake on Witness Wednesday. Zach Boyles. There are a lot of artists that stayed home practicing painting, sacrificing their social lives and working hard so that they would stand out in the crowd and their goods would be highly desirable. But you come along, me too, and whip up these wonderful tools. Does that really make us communist? Why would anyone want others to suffer through what they suffered through if it's unnecessary? That kind of attitude would have us in caves, too angry to make a business deals because nothing is fair enough. And that reminds me the hero is constantly looked after by communities, the individuals. Rarely is the journey some profit-seeking business. Wow, Guy, I remember when I used to think this way. I don't even want to change it. I think it's beautiful. You guys can read my response if you want. I don't want to spoil it. When you were this tall, vitriol looks like suffering. And when you were, there was a point in your life where things that you enjoy now you thought were ridiculous and painful. And if you were to receive a letter from the government, Zach, saying you're to report to Planet Fitness at 7 p.m., where under the supervision of a government agent, you're going to be required to take a step aerobics class. And the entire time while you're there, you would have this attitude, Zach. You would look at it this way. And it would be torture. And the capitalism that was happening in the room would be cruel, and you would tell yourself that you as an artist were starving and dying now because of it. And this is why hippies don't make art. Hippies relax. Hippies give you a pumice for art to rest on. But the artist is in the gym every day. The artist is struggling and squeezing himself out of his own tube. And you've got this beautiful idea, Zach, that the most beautiful, passionate art's going to come from the place where nothing bad ever happened. And it's just so completely wrong and naive. And I don't want to spoil it for you. I remember when I felt that way. There's a beautiful innocence that comes with it, and there's a horrible spoiling that occurs. And you see it all the time. Sometimes people are so beautiful that they are able to get by too far in life without any strife. Do you know what I mean? And only when you get older and you watch how atrophied they are, how weak they are, in the slightest bit of rain, you realize that the people that kept telling them how beautiful they were their whole life were destroying them. And it was ideals just like this. It was ideals just like this on the screen that Zach has now that destroys those flowers. It insists that they don't have to work. It insists that they don't have to do anything because they're just so beautiful. And you think that that's praise, just like you mentioned the hero. You said, and that reminds me, the hero is constantly looked after by communities. And that's that's not what happens at all. The Patsy, the Perseus, the Patsy and the Perseus is looked at by the community. And was Perseus a hero? Well, of course he was. He was given a golden hat. He was given golden shoes. He was given a golden contract from Nike. And he was told to go to an island and murder a chick because she was mean because someone raped her a long time ago. And if you would go and think about it, if Medusa's such a menace, why do you have to fucking go to her? Why do you have to go to her lair? If she's such a menace, if she's causing all of this strife around the world, why is she at home? And why do you have to go to her place to be a hero? And Perseus is a patsy because once he got there, due to spiritual usury, he's already been paid for what he has to do. And because he's not a hero, he's a patsy, he does it. Meanwhile, the hero suffers alone. You know what the hero is? He's the fucking artist in the cave. He's grunting, trying to find a way to make a color you've never seen before. He can see it. He believes it in his mind. It's the most vivid color he's ever seen, and he's trying to express it to you. But you call him crazy, Zach. You say that, no. An artist is someone that lives under the soft place. And that the artist is ruined by us making them compete. Because obviously all the flowers in the world would be ruined if they were competing for survival right now. And that if flowers were ruined by competing for survival, then that means they wouldn't get prettier to survive. They would get uglier. And when I look outside, the flowers are more beautiful than I've ever seen. And the people exude more essence than I've ever known was possible. and the high I feel from the charisma of those I respect is a pheromone that frankly takes me to a whole nother level. And all of that comes not from suffering, as you said, but from vitriol, vitrus, vitrioso. This is a good word. It's not a bad word. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. If you're not willing to go through pain, you're not willing to be an artist, you're not an artist. And there's nothing wrong with that. But every single business is art. Every single creational process is art. You putting yourself out there because you have to is the only way to squeeze. The universe, nature itself, squeezes fruit, it squeezes honey, it squeezes molasses, it squeezes boobies, it orchestra, it squeezes all kinds of things. And everything good, every juice, everything that's worth it on the tongue is freshly squeezed. And that's what vitriol is. It's freshly squeezed art. Freshly squeezed, right? That's a good one. Go for that, Nick. I say embrace that. We should be doing some exercises like that later, believe it or not. Dr. Rotho, PhD. How does one share their personal experience with you and your audience? You would come to Airship, Dr. Rotho. You would come to Airship. And we have an Airship now. I'm not late, am I? No. I have 22 minutes. But yeah, you would come to Airship. The invites are pretty hard to miss. So, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you. You would come to Airship. Figure it out. You're a doctor. I bet you figure it out. I didn't show you that, but yeah, that was from Dr. Rotho, please. Phil Pott. James's Airship is the only thing laying down contrails worth talking about. Just ignore all chemtrails and build more dragons. Right on, Phil Pott. In fact, they're pro-trails, aren't they? They're not contrails. They're pro-trails, right? You got chemtrails, and then you got pro-trails, right? There are no contrails. You kidding? No. There's nothing but pro-trails all the way down. All the way down. Nico. Profound stuff here. Convinced me to get your audiobook. Thank you. Mark of Baphomet is available on audio right now. It's on Audible. It's read by yours truly. Yours truly meaning me. I read it. And I read it to you. And you can hear my voice reading you my latest book. We go into some deep stuff there. We're talking core wound stuff. Did you know that all of us have a core wound, and it's the most powerful force that you've ever had? It's led you to all of your titillations, everything that you're attracted to, everything you've been attracted to. All of your sonar, all of your ability to empathize and see the invisible is directly responsible for the strife and vitriol that you invoked upon yourself the moment that you chose your sex. This core wound is at the zygote level, and I cannot find the way to compact all that's in this book into one live stream, which is why right now, do not hesitate. Right now, go get that book on Audible. How dare you wait? Go. Find that book. Buy it. Listen to it. If you do not like it, complain to me. And I will laugh because I already have your money. Actually, I'll feel like shit. So you've got that going for you. I still have money, but I'll feel like shit. But let me know what you think. Challenge me on some of the ideas in here because there's some big ideas. Big ideas in there. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Hey, there's Nico right there. Wait, wasn't I just reading? Yeah, look, guys. Look. Guys, look, there's Nico. He's right there. He's like right there in the chat. Look, he's in two places. Look, here he is right here, right? And then there he is right there, right? How'd you do that, Nico? Spectral, can you put a tracker on Nico? We need to figure out what's going on there. Over. Roger that. Over. I'll be doing that down there. Over. Roger that. All right, Nico's learned how to be in two places at once. Very impressed with that. Very impressed. And yeah, I told you about the Natural Freedom League. I don't feel like I told you about it enough, though. I would like for you guys to register there. I would like for you guys to register for the Freedom Under Natural Law Conference. FUNL. You look it up right now. Google it right now. First one, put a link in. Wins the power of Nico after we learn how to extract it into a crystal, which Spectral will get back on and let you know how that goes. But yeah, first one to put that in there gets Nico's power once we extract it into a crystal. But yeah, go there to register for that. It's free to register. And you should do that, I think. I think I have some cool things to share with them about natural law. And I think if you were to register for that, you would kind of show those guys, hey, you know, James Drew, guy's got some pull over there, and all these registers are doubles. This Nico, he's like quadrupled. He's twinned inside of a twin over here. What's going on? So yeah, there you go. Orchestra. Thank you. I'm glad you saw it, Bullseye. Order your copy. Yes, order your copy right there. There it is. And then just scroll up a little bit more, and you'll see the Astronosis thing. There's all kinds of links going on, guys, because we got all kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of stuff. Super synchronicity. That's right, Nico. Hey, Pam. All right. I'm going to get off, metaphorically. I'm going to get off in 17 minutes. We're going to have an Airstream. You could check that out. We do, if you're a member of the Airstream, you can get a +1. So there's that. Also, there's some big news dropping in the Airstream today. Big news. Big news. You're going to want to be a part of that. You're going to hear that. If you miss it, you're going to have a nugget of void in your field that's going to last for a certain amount of time. And that nugget is actually something you're going to be able to reclaim later and power up. So if you want to miss purely so that you can regret it, knowing that in 4 days you're going to sign up to power up, I respect that too. And I forgive you guys for missing that, so that's fine. But yeah, you want to be here for this one tonight. There's a lot to drop. There's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot. I almost didn't stream today because I'm tired from all the lottings. There's so many lottings happening that yeah, there's just a lot of things to put together. So yeah, we'll do that. Hey Tom, it's good to see you. Robin, I remember you saying natural law runs on entitlement. Seems about right. Yes, Robin, that's actually what I'm going to be talking about. Yes, thank you, Robin. That's actually what I'm going to be talking about. And honestly, I don't know how the natural law guys are going to feel about that. I really don't. And I applaud Will Keller for considering me and including me. And that's why I think you guys should register for this. I really do. I believe that the most healthy thing we could do is have these discussions about it, including anarchy. And it's interesting, just like in Flat Earth, where I'm like, well, what if NASA's kind of like, you know, doing this because it actually helps things? No one wants to talk about that. Just like with Berwick, it was like, no, we're not going to talk about how anarchy, we already have that. No, that's not going to work. Here's Will Keller, and he's like, no, that's fine. I want to hear what you have to say, James. I watched the show. I'm brave. My ideas are brave. I want you to bring it. And hats off for him for that. It's like really, really, really cool. Spectre Val could just post that link in Aquarium Earth. You can check that out. But yeah, come to 7. Big news. Let's see. Thundercats Ho. That's right. Thundercats Ho, guys. Yes, I've learned the tricks of Nico. That is the same weekend. And you'll be able to see me both. I've mastered the Nico and I actually worked on this trick together. So yeah, we're kind of like brothers in magic. Yep, Ka. Raise your Ka right there. Thank you for the unexpected. Oh, thank you, Steve. Thanks for being here. Yeah. We'll see you guys Friday, unless you're coming to Airship. And for those who will lament the loss, that's okay too. Brett Morgan, take a computer engineering course. Well, why, Brett? Do you think that that's how? Bro, AI is just changing ones to zeros and zeros to ones by controlled bursts of electricity and controlled by humans. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, good. He's ripping scientism. Oh, this is cool. No, Brett Morgan's just got a lot to say over here. That's cool. Cool. Why do truthers misunderstand the basic logic of AI so badly? It's so frustrating. It's fucking O's and ones, and that's what it is at its core. Yeah. Yeah, guys, the reason why is because the truth movement is a comfort movement. It's a comfort movement. And when you understand belief, when you understand lying, you understand the matrix of Maya, of what we have, and you understand that the very people that are insisting it's subjective reality are literally lying to themselves about it. Can you see the irony? Tell me you see the irony there. The very people insisting that we live in an objective reality are hilariously actually lying about that, and you and I are in the room with them right now. Orchestra! I got it. Seriously, I know what I'm doing now. I'm gonna